Just a couple ugga-duggas, and then I'll come back through with a torque wrench. What's going on, guys? Cameron from KC Turbos. Today we're going over how to put the 6.0 KC Upgraded Intercooler into your L99 through 03 7.3 Powerstroke. First step here, got to remove this top cowl, then we're going to remove our radiator support brackets. From there, you can just lean the radiator forward, then all we have to do is fight with your intercooler boots, pull off your radiator support, and then that intercooler should slide right out. As you can see, this truck is old and clapped out, so a lot of these probably going to be broken. Totally fine. We're going to be replacing these as we do the install. So all you do, just get under here, and you just pry up. That one fell apart, and this one's, a lot of these you can just pull from the back, because they're so old and crusty, they'll just pop off. And make sure you get some new ones, replace that nastiness. Pop that last one out, and then this guy. So get it over your grill, and then just push it down. Make sure you don't break it like this one. Move it over your hood release, and pull it free. So next step is we got to pull this top radiator support bar. So doing that, you got to remove your hood latch, your AC condenser brackets, some of these flaps if they get in your way, and then we're going to pull these outer bolts and your top radiator support brackets. From there, we'll be able to pry this top piece out. So let's start at the top. Next up, let's pop this hood latch. So once you got your hood latch off, you're going to pop the retaining clip for it, or break it, slide her down, hang this out of the way. So I'm just going to throw these bolts back in here so I don't have to keep track of them. Just a nice handy tip whenever you're working with a lot of small pieces and bolts that are different lengths that go to different spots. Easy way to not get yourself messed up. Just put them back where you found them. Get this radiator support out of our way. Perfect, came right with us. Okay, so be careful not to snap your overflow container. Pull that bolt and this will slide out underneath it. Next thing we're going to do is pull these two support brackets for your AC condenser. Now make sure you don't lose this little rubber support grommet. This is what isolates your AC condenser from all the vibration. Next thing we're going to do, unbolt this top bar. All right, didn't mention it, but all that hardware I took off, it's all going to be 8 millimeters as you're pulling it. Next up, get yourself 1/2-inch socket, nice gold-plated icon ratchet.
I love gold!
We're going to start removing these side bolts. Well, if your truck's anything like this one, ready to fight a bunch of old, crusty, rounded off hardware. Oh, it'd be easier with an electric ratchet, huh? I do not have one of those on me today. So, doing it the old-fashioned way. Perfect. I'll just repeat that step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more times for 8 total. Some nice double-end box ratcheting wrenches to make quick work of this as well. There you go, that way. Dip. Long boys. We got all 8 of our bolts out for that top radiator support. All we got left is we got to pop off these 2 air ducts, air dams that direct air into your radiator. From there, all that's left is this little isolator for your intercooler. And then we get to go through all the fun of trying to pry this top piece out. Next step, get your comically oversized clip puller. Pop these bad boys off. If these little air dams are in place, they are very nice to have because these are stopping the air from just going right around your radiator into your engine bay, so you're losing your cooling efficiency on your radiator and your intercooler and your air conditioning. So for me, huge deal breaker. No! So it's like 1,000,000 degrees here. So far the tool sped's been pretty easy, guys. This is something you could tackle, you know, in your driveway, in your garage. As long as you got a Harbor Freight toolkit like me, sitting on that table, that's all you really need. Now, the gold-plated icon ratchet isn't required, but helps you look cool. So, just like that. And as you can see, this is Tyler's truck. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? He's big into towing, so he's got a fifth wheel, side by side. He's always going camping. So with him doing all that towing, he's already done like no-brainer upgrades. He's already got the oversized radiator. He's got an upgraded transcooler. So all these things are great upgrades for you guys to do, you know, before you start chasing power, upgrading your intercooler with the 601. So yeah, guys, all you need if you got a tow pig, get yourself KC turbo. Yes, depending on your injector, it's probably, you know, stage 1 or something close. After that, for a tow truck, you know, radiator's a great upgrade. Transcooler like the 40K 6.0 cooler, that's a must. If you're towing with the 7.3, this is pretty much like a go-to package for your tow guys. Do a quick once over before you start really prying on stuff. Make sure you got all your bolts. Got these little AC condenser brackets, your hood latch, a radiator support brackets, your overflow bottle, don't break this, your intercooler mounts, and those 4 bolts on each side of the truck that are holding in this top radiator support bar. If you're still running that intake box, stock one, just pull your lid off, press down on this here. This is just a little release tab, holds it in place. Push down, push forward. There you go. Essentially, you got to do that on all 4 sides of this little duct, and this thing will pop straight forward. So we just pop this off, guys, if you still got your factory air box, just so as we're prying, we don't snap that if you wanted to reuse it. If you got a cold air intake or something, you know, it's not going to be there anyway. Okay, so now for the fun part. Be a little careful so you don't bend the ever-loving crap out of your radiator support. Looks bad. You might move where those captive threads are on the inside of this, and it's going to be a pain going back together. So keep that in mind. Be careful. Don't pry hard, but this thing's going to take some force to get off.
That's what she said.
Pittsburgh Harbor Freight Special pry bar, or, you know, if you're a mechanic, you probably got a snap on. Stick it in here, pry up. I'm just going to do that, especially if you live in the Rust Belt. That might be rusted in place. So if it is, and you start prying and you don't get any movement like I am right here, you're probably going to be in for a long time. And you're just going to pop it and walk it on up. Got that side, I'll show you over here. So you get under it. There is room underneath these outer headlight buckets to slide this thing back and forth. So as you're working it back and forth, turning this way, you want to get under this top lip of the piece of metal. You're just going to walk it up. You can try to pull on it from the back side as you're wiggling it. She's loose. So after you have this top support bar, you're able to get a screwdriver pry bar under half of it. It's pretty simple. You should be able to just gently pry it up. That's it. You know, installation hack. If you don't have anything handy, use your radiator support brackets. So all we need is just an extra inch, right here. Pry them up. And then when that gets too low, flip it this way. Hold it right there, pry it up. You only need to do one side at a time. There you go. On to the next piece. Get that one side, just lift it up, wiggle it. Easy peasy. Now that we got that top bar off, this is the reason why we pulled this little intercooler air duct. It's gonna give us clearance once we take those boots off to pull out your intercooler. Pull this thing out. There you go. Okay, get yourself a, deep 11 and an extension. No need to pull it all the way off. Just loosen it so you can spin it. So then take your sick Icon gold-plated ratchet. Once you got it loose, we're just sliding it forward onto your intercooler. Grabbing that intercooler boot, if you don't have a pick or something, grab it and trying to spin it, you know, back and forth, wiggle it off. Now I am lucky because these are the stock boots, or stock-ish, so they're real thin. So they are very easy to just pop off like that. Push that intercooler pipe or intercooler boot down, off, and now you're unhooked on both sides. You get the pleasure of fighting the intercooler to get it out of this thing. So best way I have found is to lift up the driver's side, pull it towards the driver's side at the angle, And now we're gonna kind of hook this thing. So watch your cables. Now you got this side up. We did all that so that we can clear those AC condenser lines, the hard lines, on that passenger side. Now granted, they're still on there, so as you're lifting here, just grab the intercooler, pick up that support with the back of your hand, gently push this condenser line out of the way, and then wiggle it, and there you go. 7.3 intercooler, out, throw it away. Put your clamp and your boot together. Oh yeah, 3-inch side going towards the truck. Just gonna slide that on. Still has the foil on it, so it's a good stopping point for us. So as you can see, guys, we got our old intercooler and boots out from there. For me, on this truck, it was easier to loosen this top clamp on both sides, here and here. Slide these pipes out. All right, and now we finally get to drop in that KC Upgraded 6.0 intercooler. All right, guys, so let's talk about why we're doing this upgrade. So the original intercooler core, as you can see here, 2 inches thick. On the 6.0, you got a 3-inch thick bar and plate style intercooler core. Now, the next direction we're getting a big upgrade in is the height of the intercooler. So your factory is about 18 inches tall. Your 6.0 intercooler is 21 inches tall. Now, next part of the core, our old width is 30. Our new width is roughly 26. Now, it's a little bit narrower in the core, but you make up for a lot of that space in these better contours in your cast end tanks. So it's gonna flow a lot nicer, and theoretically it's gonna make more top end power because your air doesn't have to make such a hard right turn like it does on your factory cooler. You can see it's like a 35% increase in volume just by switching to this intercooler, let alone all the other upgrades and benefits you're getting from it. So here we go, guys. Don't forget to transfer over your little bushing rubber isolators. We're gonna pull this up and drop it in the truck. And don't forget about that AC condenser line on the left side. Slide past it and set this thing down in place. And it should just barely clear. There we go. This side ended up being kind of a pain to get to, so we just unbolted the 2 bolts down here for the overflow bottle, just so we could pull it out of the way and get this boot on. We did also end up taking off your map sensor bracket. Just pull that off. We got it tucked away back under here, just so we can get this pipe in and out to make our lives a little bit easier to install these boots, because these things are a pain. Anyone who's installed big, thick, like high quality aftermarket boots, you'll know how difficult, honestly, it can be to put these things on, because they're great quality and they'll never rip and they'll never blow, but getting them on the first time, you know, I'm always glad that it's the last time. I'm just gonna snug this down. Once you get that boot on, the intercooler, lightly snug, not like final install, but get it started, you can, then you start to fight with the rest of the intercooler pipe, because I'll be honest, everything on the top side of the engine is a lot easier to get to than the stuff down here. Let's put this back on. Once you get that thing lined up and in there, you can literally just twist it back and forth. And this right here, guys, this is the beauty of this extended 8-inch intercooler pipe, or excuse me, intercooler boot. It's so long that you don't have to worry about, like you do up here on the top of the Spider, having the boot and the clamp in the exact right spot, and you're not using too much boot on one side or the other. You have so much room in silicone, it doesn't matter essentially where it ends up in here, as long as this side looks good. Had so many heat cycles, so many years on them. There we go. That they're just so dang soft. And now if it doesn't line up there, we'll just pull it this way out of our monster 8-inch, you know, big blue boot at the bottom. So we got our top one in the right spot. Zipper down. Now that you got these boots started in on both sides, just snug, you know, on this side, we're gonna be snug on the engine side. Far side, it's gonna be the snug or the loose on the intercooler side. Now what that's gonna let us do is when we put this top support bar back on to bolt on your intercooler, it's gonna let this intercooler move to wherever it wants to sit, right? Because gravity is pulling your radiator, your intercooler backwards. So our mounting point is probably gonna be like about here. So you can see how much everything has to move. So you don't want to tighten them down all the way, so we're not leaving anything under tension as we're putting it back together. Don't forget to install your little intake that goes to the front. We're popping this guy back in. Installations, reverse or removal. So start with putting this back in. Just line it up, tap it in on one side.
All you gotta do is just tap it in. Tap it in, give it a little tappy.
All the way down and in. And then you kind of want to hit it in first. Then you're gonna have just enough clearance. You see there's a little bit of interference right there? That's the only spot it's gonna rub, so you just tap it. You shouldn't have to hammer on it, you're gonna bend it. Don't smack it, but just lightly tap it. There you go. Now, as you're tapping it down, keep an eye on these intercooler mounts. Make sure everything else is back where it's supposed to be. So once you got it sunk all the way in on both sides, that's when you can kind of fine tune it. If it's really wedged, you could use a pry bar to move it around. But all we're doing is we're trying to line up those two little bolt holes right there. So as you can see, boom, I got it lined up and down, but I got to take the whole thing that way. Just grab this thing and wiggle it. It should be loose enough. You can just wiggle it back and forth, just like that. And we're golden. Next, we're gonna bolt on our intercooler to this support bar, and then we're gonna tighten up those intercooler boots. All right, guys, so
We are victorious, my friends. We keep on rising to the end. We are victorious.
once you get this crossbar back in, what I did was I took our, eight mounting bolts for this crossbar and just loosely threaded them in. So that's gonna roughly put this thing where it's supposed to be at. From there, we're gonna bolt on these two intercooler locating bolts, and that's gonna suck it in to where the intercooler wants to sit in the truck. Every truck's gonna be a little different, you know. Sheet metal's always pretty close, but not exactly the same. Save yourself some headache. Locate this intercooler first with these mounting bolts, and then tighten down your boots. After you put on cross member, tighten down your intercooler to locate it. Throw those boots on, tighten them down, and now just throw everything back together. So after you get the 8 bolts all tightened up on the outside of that support out here, I'm gonna throw on our hood latch. And if your truck is as dirty as this one is, the reason I didn't mark it is because you can actually see the dirt line where the hardware and the hinge used to sit on this radiator support. If you don't, there's a lot of adjustment in this thing. So try to keep track of where this hinge point is. If yours isn't dirty and it's super clean, take a Sharpie, mark the edges, where it's at, left to right, up and down, so that when you're putting it back together, your hood closes the same way. Once you got that hood hinge hooked back up, we're gonna put these AC condenser isolator brackets back in place. They're in the world. Friggin' heck, dude, where'd all my hardware go?
I just didn't want to be in all pinches, but I can now.
All right, guys, so don't forget, if you took off this overflow tank, to put those 2 bolts back down with the battery tray. From there, I'm just putting this one on loose, so it's got a little bit of movement. Now I'm going to secure down a little radiator hold down brackets. Just a couple ugga-duggas, and then I'll come back through with a torque wrench. No, I won't. Last thing, I'm gonna put this cowl piece back on. So for us, it's already ripped, so just tuck this, your hood release arm into its home and kind of just roll this cowl piece This is gonna fight me because it's broken. There we go. Just roll the cowl piece back to where it's supposed to be. Now I'm gonna get this situated and I'll be right back. As you're finishing up here, guys, make sure you got all your intercooler piping boot clamps. Make sure you have all those snug down so you're not gonna pop any boots next time you go for drive. That's it.